Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's severe weather update. So, unfortunately, dangerous severe weather is returning to the plains, where the Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk of severe weather across central eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and northeastern Oklahoma in the orange today, including Wichita and Kansas City. We have a slight risk covering most of the central plains from the Texas Panhandle through Oklahoma up through Illinois and southern Wisconsin, and a marginal risk in the dark green areas from Wyoming to New Mexico to Alabama to Michigan and across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. So looking at today's tornado threat, thankfully the tornado threat is going to be low, where we have a 2% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location in this green area across central eastern Kansas, far southeast Nebraska, far northeast Oklahoma, and western Missouri in the green, and this includes Wichita, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. So make sure you're on guard for an isolated spin-up tornado or two if you live in this green area today. But the main threat today is going to be, once again, damaging winds and a potential derecho, where the Storm Prediction Center has issued a 30% chance of damaging straight line winds of 58 miles per hour stronger within 25 miles of location in this red area across central eastern Kansas, western Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma, and this area is hatched, which means that we could be seeing several of these wind gusts approaching and exceeding 75 miles per hour or hurricane force today. So if you live in this red hatched area, make sure you're preparing for a potential derecho this afternoon and evening with widespread damaging winds and several wind gusts of over 75 miles per hour. We have a 15% damaging wind risk from the Texas Panhandle through Wisconsin and Illinois in the yellow, and a 5% damaging wind risk in the brown areas today. And looking at the large hail threat, we have a 30% chance of quarter-size hail or larger within 25 miles of a location across central eastern Kansas, including Wichita and Kansas City, a 15% hail risk from the Texas Panhandle through southeast Nebraska into northwestern Missouri in the yellow, as well as around Chicago and Peoria, Illinois, and a 5% large hail risk in the brown areas as well today. So make sure you're preparing for numerous quarter-size hail or larger hail reports, especially if you live in central eastern Kansas. Now, timing out the storms today, we have ongoing storms across northern Nebraska, northern Arkansas, and northeast Oklahoma this morning, but this is not the, or at least the storms across Oklahoma and Arkansas are not the storms that are going to lead to today's severe threat. It's going to be the storms across Nebraska. So as we go through the morning, this little complex of storms is going to push southeast across Nebraska, producing some scattered large hail damaging winds. And then as we go towards noon, this little cluster of storms is going to start to really intensify across southern Nebraska, northern Kansas, where we could be seeing some hail in excess of 2 inches in diameter by noon, as well as bowing segments indicating some very strong damaging winds going into 1 and 2 o'clock. This is when this mesoscale convective system could morph into a derecho across north central Kansas with large hail and destructive winds across north central Kansas by 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time this afternoon. And as we go into 3 o'clock, this will sink across central Kansas, and 4 o'clock, this will start to approach the Kansas City and Wichita metro areas, likely producing destructive winds and large hail simultaneously. So around 5 o'clock, watch out Kansas City and Wichita. And then as we go into 6 o'clock, this potential derecho mesoscale convective system is going to push through Wichita and Kansas City, and then through southeast Kansas around 7 and 8 o'clock, pushing into western Missouri by 9 o'clock, and then pushing across central Missouri into northern Arkansas and weakening through the overnight hours. We could see another flare up of significant storms around Tulsa by by 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So another day and another dangerous severe weather and derecho threat, unfortunately, across Kansas, Oklahoma, western Missouri. So make sure you're paying close attention to the weather today and preparing for a widespread damaging to destructive winds if you live across the enhanced risk area today. Thanks for watching today's severe weather update. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.